In the Serengeti Game Reserve in Tanzania, a vast wilderness, there is an old man named Makonde. Mr. Makonde is a former ranger who has been with the game reserve for more than 50 years, from his youth to his old age. During that time, he has devoted himself to protecting wild animals from illegal hunting. People in the Serengeti respect him as a living legend for his perseverance and kindness. Even after retirement, he still volunteers to drive his old car to patrol every day. Young staff in the game reserve often come to him for guidance because of his profound knowledge. The elephants, lions, giraffes, zebras, and rhinos are all loved and cared for by him. In particular, he pays great attention to the old animals in the safe area where they rest. Despite his declining health, Mr. Makonde has never let the pressure of age stop him. The weather in the Serengeti has become more severe recently, with temperatures forecast to reach 45 degrees Celsius. Early that morning, the sun was high and shining fiercely across the reserve. The hot air caused many animals to seek shelter under the large trees. However, Mr. Makonde was determined to make the trip to check on the condition of the rhino that had been injured the day before. He drove to the bushy area where the rhino was recovering. The car slowly rolled on the rough road in the middle of the dry grassland. The sweltering heat blew into the cabin, causing him to sweat continuously. When he arrived, he stopped the car and got out, trying to observe the rhino from a distance. The rhino still looked weak, a long wound had not yet healed. Mr. Makonde gently approached to check on its condition. His eyes were filled with worry and love for this large but vulnerable creature. Suddenly, he felt a sharp pain in his chest. The pain spread, making him dizzy and unable to react. He fell to his knees in the grass, sweat pouring out and his face pale. His two colleagues, Elijah and Musa, were taking care of the zebras nearby when they heard a faint call. They rushed over and saw Mr. Makonde collapsed on the ground. Elijah bent down to check his pulse, realizing that his heart was beating erratically. Musa searched for his heart medication in his pocket, but couldn't find it. Perhaps in his haste, the old man had forgotten to bring his medication today. The situation was so dire, Elijah immediately called the center via radio to request an ambulance. All the surrounding work had to stop, everyone joined forces to support. The special vehicle quickly rushed over, taking Mr. Makonde to the medical room of the reserve. On the way, Elijah kept calling his name, hoping he would hold on. But his old eyes gradually closed, his breathing was intermittent. Arriving at the medical room, the doctors immediately performed emergency treatment. They tried to perform artificial respiration and used a defibrillator. The tense atmosphere covered the small room. After more than 15 minutes, a doctor slowly announced that his heart had stopped beating a long time ago. The eerie silence spread, everyone was shocked. The confirmation that he could not be saved rang out in sorrow, ending a glorious life. Many staff members rushed over to hear the news, their faces bewildered. They knew that the reserve had just lost a spiritual pillar. The sad news was reported to his family, everyone was choked up. According to Mr. Makonde's wishes, the funeral will be held right at the reserve. Everyone discussed and prepared a ceremony according to the indigenous people's rituals. The next morning, when the sun was still peeking over the horizon, everyone gathered. A simple wooden bed was placed in the middle of the sanctuary's central courtyard. Mr. Makonde's body rested on it, his face calm as if he were sleeping. Each person came to see him off, their eyes filled with longing. Elijah stood beside him, his trembling hand gently touching the old man's hand, recalling old memories. Musa quietly lit an incense stick, praying softly. Suddenly, a roar rang out from the sanctuary's gate. Everyone turned around in panic, realizing a large male lion was approaching. It slowly walked through the crowd, its eyes filled with majesty and mystery. Everyone was scared, quickly looking for a place to hide. The lion growled as if to announce its presence, but did not show any aggressiveness. It approached the wooden bed where the old man was lying. No one dared to say a word, everyone silently looked at the mighty beast. The lion circled the bed, then stopped at the foot of the bed, bowing its head as if in remembrance. The strange scene made the crowd tremble and be shocked by the tragedy. Elijah was surprised to see that the lion had a large scar on its side. He suddenly remembered that this was the lion that he and Mr. McCond had saved 15 years ago. At that time, the pride of lions was trapped on the road due to hunting, and they asked for help from the rangers. Mr. McCond and Elijah ventured closer, removed the trap, and bandaged the male lion's wound. From there, the lion was brought to a safe area, gradually recovered, and returned to the wild. Perhaps it had been silently watching over its benefactor for many years. When it heard that Mr. McCond had passed away, it somehow came to say goodbye. The story of the lion's loyalty and gratitude moved everyone. Elijah cautiously approached, trying to calm the lion. Surprisingly, the lion just quietly bowed its head, not showing any aggression. Gradually, the others also boldly stepped forward, sharing the sacred moment. The initial fear disappeared, replaced by a common grief for the old man's passing. After the funeral ended in the central courtyard, everyone carried his body to a grassy field where he had loved. The lion continued to slowly follow behind, roaring endlessly as if expressing his pain. The group stopped at a place with a large shade tree and green grass. They began to dig a quiet grave, gently placing Mr. McCond in it. The entire sanctuary held its breath, witnessing the final farewell. Elijah and Musa placed a stone with his name engraved on it at the head of the grave to commemorate his 50 years of service. The local people held a prayer ceremony, hoping that his soul would rest in peace in eternity. The lion stood by the grave, bowing its head for a long time without taking its eyes off him. Then it roared loudly, echoing throughout the fields. The roar was heartbreaking, like the tragic cry of someone who had lost a benefactor. After a while, the group quietly left, leaving only the lonely lion behind. The sun gradually set, dyeing the Serengeti sky red. The image of the lion by the old man's grave was deeply engraved in everyone's mind. The next day, the reserve temporarily suspended all bustling activities to commemorate him. Many people came to burn incense, place wild flowers by the grave, and pray for him to rest in peace. Occasionally, people saw the lion return to visit the grave, quietly contemplating. For it, Mr. McCond was the one who gave it the chance to live, and now it is repaying its gratitude by commemorating him. Elijah and Musa also often went to the grave to talk with him, continuing the dream of preserving wild nature. The story of the old man McCond, the legendary former ranger, will live forever in the memory of the Serengeti Reserve in Tanzania, along with the eternal love of the lion for his benefactor. Dear friend, thank you for taking the time to watch the whole video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to support us. Goodbye and see you in the next episodes.